Well, actually, the beginning of 2021 has been transformative for Solar Alliance. It's been an incredible start to the year so far. Really, a lot of that started in late 2020 with the election of Joe Biden in the U.S. Of course, a lot of our projects, the majority of our revenue comes from the U.S. And seeing Joe Biden elected and the Democrats take over the Senate and the U.S. has really sort of changed the dynamic. In terms of the U.S. marketplace for solar, we're seeing infrastructure funding flowing towards renewables and green energy. And that has really created a significant catalyst for the solar industry. You're seeing a massive shift in renewables right now. And that led to a completion of a $5.7 million financing that we completed in February. And really, there was a lot of demand for that. We were very pleased that we closed that quickly. And it set us up perfectly for the remainder of the year and beyond, really. What it does is it capitalizes us and allows us to pursue all of these projects that we've been looking at. And it also allows us to pursue project ownership, which is something that we've been talking about for a while as well, and really will long-term generate that recurring revenue when we own and operate a project so that we can see that recurring revenue. We can see the sale of electricity to a customer, and we get paid every month essentially for owning that project. So that was a great milestone for us in terms of completing that financing and setting everything up. In terms of a few of the other things that happened early in the year, we completed a large project for Bridgestone, a $2.5 million project for a Bridgestone facility in South Carolina. Great project. Something we're looking to replicate with other Bridgestone opportunities, if that's at all possible. We also signed a design agreement for a 56 megawatt project. That's a $60 million capital cost project for an Illinois data center company. And we're looking at the design phase of that right now. Really, that just goes to show you the sort of growth that we're seeing in the marketplace and the growth potential for Solar Alliance. We've gone from selling, 2 to 3 years ago, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 projects. Now we're selling $2.5 million, potentially $60 million projects. The growth really right now in the U.S. is quite amazing, and it's very exciting for us. Some of the other things that we completed, we did a great project for Maker's Mark in Kentucky as well. We also signed agreements for 2 projects that we will be owning and operating. So I talked about project ownership a bit, but what we need to do is actually identify the projects and then get them built and own and operate them. We've signed LOIs for 2 projects in New York, 350 kilowatts, 389 kilowatts, that we will provide the capital to build, we'll manage the construction of, and then we will own and operate. They are construction ready right now, so they are essentially de-risked. They are projects that have all the design work done. They have power purchase agreements in place for 25 years. So they're the perfect projects for us to step into in terms of size and in terms of risk. We signed those agreements with Abundant Power, which is a group that develops these types of projects. And so what we're hoping to do is really expand on that relationship, tap into a broader pipeline of projects so that we can own and operate 9, 10, 11 megawatts of power, perhaps by the end of 2022. That's really our goal, is to build out that portfolio of assets under ownership extremely quickly. And we have the ability to do it, and the market is definitely supporting us in it. We're also looking at some Canadian expansion over the course of this year as well. There are some opportunities in Canada that we think we want to take advantage of. So that could involve a joint development agreement with a local partner, and then also agreements to build large-scale projects for partners here in Canada as well. How do we finance all of that? People want to know, we're going to do another raise, we're going to finance more. Probably not in the short term, but we're looking for some innovative financing solutions to be able to deploy and own and operate these projects. And one idea is a green bond. So something where we could deploy corporate debt, a green bond, which has a relatively low coupon rate or interest rate, and then deploy that capital into these smaller projects, acquire them, build them, and then ultimately refinance them and then pay that green bond back. But some real interesting opportunities for us in the remainder of 2021. And that's on the ownership side. On the sales side, we continue to pursue significant partners in terms of projects. We completed a 1 megawatt, more than $1 million project for a utility in Kentucky. And those are the types of projects that we continue to pursue. And obviously we can't talk about them until we put the press release out, but it's fair to say that we're not pursuing those small projects anymore. We're really pursuing those, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 megawatt size projects, and really excited to talk about them when the time comes. So a good beginning to the year. Definitely lots of work left, but really looking forward to rolling out the remainder of 2021.